something you might be blue there. Start Q&A. Let's chat filter all messages. Day we had yesterday. I guess we were in the 70s for the temperature, which was really nice. I guess it was 72 yesterday. Oh, maybe I should hold on to that until the end of the ride. Good morning. How are you this morning? Give us a few minutes. When we get out to the big road, we'll really start having our conversation. I would like to note that the snowblower is no longer in the back of the truck. I'm not saying that we're not going to get any more snow, but I'm not doing any more snow blowing this season. If anybody actually feels like sticking around to the end of the ride, I can talk more about what I'm going to be doing with the truck as the seasons change. Good morning, Isaiah. How are you? Had a really good prayer meeting this morning with Commission Outreach Church on YouTube. Pastor Lewis is probably one of the greatest prayer warriors I've seen in a while. If you guys don't feel like answering the question there on screen, maybe if you have a Bible verse you want read, I'll read it towards the end of the ride. Any prayer requests, I'll pray for those at the end of the ride. Kind of hard to do all of that while I'm driving. Good morning, everyone. I hate not picking people up, but I don't think she would really appreciate me live streaming when I give her a ride, so yesterday, the weather was beautiful. 72 degrees here in Maine. A lot of the snow has melted off. My driveway is a mess. As I mentioned just after I started the stream, I got the snowblower out of the truck. Hello, Morgan. How are you this morning? The reason I got the snowblower out of the back of the truck and took a lot of the stuff that was in the back of the truck out is so I can start getting some wood chips and making the property we live on look a little bit better. You know, the driveway is all mud right now, and I don't want to tear up the driveway any more than I have to. So we're going to start putting wood chips on the driveway just so that, you know, we're not tracking dirt everywhere and mud everywhere. Let's see. Delet? That's a name I can't really pronounce. Going to school. Good. It's always good to hear people that are going to school, whether it's middle school, high school, secondary education. I always advocate for people that even if they do go to college for something, also try to get into a trade school. Trades are always important. I went to Job Corps many years ago for information technology. Yeah, we're not going to be dealing with that crap. Put user in timeout for 24 hours. Yeah. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. Good morning, Jolina. Appreciate everybody coming along. The wood chips that I was just talking about, they're pretty much going to be covering the entire property that we live on, so that we can kind of level it out, because it's not the greatest to walk through. Back in the wintertime, I hurt my ankle trying to walk down through there, so I can only imagine what it's like for what it would be like for other people to walk the property. It is a good day, isn't it? We're so blessed. God woke us up this morning so that we could watch the sunrise. Going to school? Are you in grade school, college? Trying to see where you're at. I've got a bunch of other people that usually hop on in the morning. Younger folks who are still like in high school or maybe in middle school. I do need prayer, Jolina. But I have asked first, are you a man of God? Yes. Do you believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins? Yes. And rose again the third day? Yes. Still in fourth grade? Let's see, where was I in fourth grade? Living in Bangor, Maine, I think. Or maybe my mom and I had just moved to Virginia. Can't remember. All right, Jolina, what are you struggling with? So my goal with the property, what? LEAP is coming soon. What is LEAP? Morgan Suarez. What is LEAP? Leap year? I don't know. But anyways, I started this YouTube channel to advocate for intentional community among believers, tiny house community, so it's more efficient. It's also more efficient to sharing certain expenses when it comes to living in community. The reason I advocate for this is that I spent almost a decade being homeless on the streets of Bangor, Maine. And I don't wish that kind of life on anybody. Try to flesh out this concept that I've got. So the first kind of big step is clearing the trees, getting some wood chips down, leveling everything out. If it's God's will, we're going to be planting a bunch of seed in the spring here. Once all the snow's gone, got all kinds of different stuff to plant. And in order, I made this comment on Pastor Lewis's show this morning. In order to be of men, we have to be planters of seed. And that's the main reason why I do this show, because I put out Bible devotionals every day. The last couple of days I haven't been able to get to it because I haven't been feeling well. I'm pretty much through the hardest part of it. You know, I'm still, my sinuses have cleared up. But I also put out topical studies. Like, I haven't been very consistent in doing that. I'll admit, I'm not perfect. But I have put out a bunch of studies. It's all free over on my Patreon page. If you haven't gone to the Patreon page yet, there's a link in my channel description. You can go check out that anytime. But yeah, I think today is going to be the first big day of the wood chips. If anybody's interested, after the stream, after the show's over this morning, please go check out my channel from stuff that I was posting last summer to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen this summer. Because last summer I was posting almost a short a day, showing like before and after kind of stuff. I'm still trying to figure out what Morgan meant by LEAP is coming soon. Anybody have any Bible verses they'd like to share that I can read towards the end of the ride? Yeah, when I was in school, we kind of just had to be passing in our classes in order to progress to the next grade. You know, we'd have a graduation ceremony from the end of 8th grade, and then at the end of high school, you know, you had graduation, SATs, whatever it's called now. I guess it's called LEAP. I still have this like nagging itch in my nose from being sick. Like sometimes it'll be so bad that I gotta close my right eye because my eye just waters and waters and waters. But yeah, we've got almost 2 acres to work with. Gotta clear trees and all that good stuff. What is 333 Jamar or Jamari? But we have to do benchmarks first. I don't know what a benchmark is. Like a test, like to show where you're at. No, that's okay. You don't have to explain. I'm just I guess they just use different words than when I was a kid. Oh, I don't know if I can make it to Circle K for my bathroom break. One of the problems of getting older, I think, Morgan, you said you were in 4th grade. When you get older, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 41, and making sure that when you get older, making sure you can get to the bathroom in time is a struggle. Normally I can hold it till I get to town, but I may have to stop halfway through the ride here. Not stop the show. I'm going to keep the show going while I run into the bathroom, but I appreciate everybody that's been tagging along. Yeah, it's like a test, but bigger. Kind of sounds like, for graduating high school, you got to do the SATs. It kind of sounds something like that for the lower classes. I'm really surprised the river. Oh, maybe the river is opened up. It was probably the last time that I got straight A's just because of life choices that I made. I dropped out in 10th grade. I don't advocate for it. By the time my class would have graduated, I had already got my GED. I was already trying to get into the military. Never actually got in, but I almost scored a perfect score on the entrance exam for the military. I think I don't know if it's changed now, but it used to be called the ASVAB, the aptitude test that they have. Perfect score is 99, and I scored 88. So I could have had my choice of any job in the military, except that I wasn't passing my weight. I had to be at or below a certain weight, and I just couldn't cut enough weight. My recruiters were always saying, when you do your jog or you run in the morning, put a trash bag over you, which sounds kind of crazy, but that makes you cut weight enough to at least get in. And I never did it because that just seemed foolish to me. I figured, going through boot camp and training, I would have lost that weight anyways. Must be trash day. We're getting pretty close to spring cleanup around here. So, then another reason why I cleaned out the back of the truck. So glad I can look out my rear view mirror and actually see the cars behind me. The way I had the snowblower set up in the back of the truck, I couldn't see anything. I had to look out my side mirrors. So I'm just about to stop here to use the bathroom. So when I go in, if you guys want to stick around for a few minutes, I would greatly appreciate that. Because we've still got 20, 25 minutes to go to the end of the show. Come on, green light. Man, sometimes. I'm glad I don't go on like long road trips or anything. I have to stop every 30 minutes to use the bathroom. I shall return momentarily. Oh, I'm sure some people will hop on. Okay. I feel a lot better. Well, if you're still here, Morgan, thank you for sticking around. Had to use the bathroom. What are you doing, school bus? You can wait, bro. What are you doing, dude? Yeah, I don't know where you're going, but sometimes traffic just doesn't make sense to me. Time is it for me? 7:45. I usually stream Monday through Friday, 7:15 to 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm on the East Coast. So you're, what time zone is that? Central Standard Time or something like that. Well, that's okay. I don't expect everybody to stick around the whole time. It's kind of a big ask for people to hang out for an hour when it's a relatively new YouTube channel. I know even some of the bigger YouTube channels everybody doesn't stick around for the whole live stream, the whole show. People come and go, at least on YouTube Short Live. I don't know about horizontal live. Oh, traffic. Well, I hope you have a good day at school, Morgan. Do me a favor and do something nice for someone today. Maybe somebody that you wouldn't normally do something for, whether it be another student, a teacher, the school bus driver if you take the school bus. Well, that's always nice. My birthday isn't until the end of the year. Spring birthdays always feel different, I guess. Because it's not really spring yet, but it feels like it. Yeah, middle of the summer, birthdays aren't bad. Every few years, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. So it's always kind of end of the harvest season, headed into winter kind of time. I'm gonna have to leave in 5 minutes. That's okay, Morgan. man. I hope you have a good day at school. I do like some of the houses these people have built along the road here. I just went by one that kind of looks like an A-frame. Hi, brother Alec. Alfredo from Peru. Hello, Pastor. How are you? Okay, and I hope you have a good day. Oh, it's not a day off. Believe me. I work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Yeah, Alfredo, wasn't paying attention this morning, but I didn't see you on Pastor Lewis's stream. So Alfredo, if you're not aware of what I do here, is every morning on the drive to work between 7:15 and 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you might be in the same time zone, but I just usually either ask for people's prayers, Bible verses, chit chat with people, try to help them out, and sometimes have a conversation with people. Every once in a while, I'll get scoffers here. Bye, Morgan. Have a good day. But yeah, I call it the way because, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. I put out, this week's been I haven't been keeping up to my commitment. I was saying this morning earlier in the show that I'm not a perfect person. I'm going to fail sometimes. But usually, Monday through Friday, at noontime over on my Patreon page, I put out free Bible devotionals. Every once in a while, I'll put out like a topical study, a little bit more of a deep dive. On the rare occasion, I may go live in the middle of the day, just after I'm done with my first job. But yeah, we just enjoy the way, the drive, whatever you want to call it. A couple of projects that I'm working on. One of them is the Kingdom Chronicles series. It's going to be like a YouTube Shorts series where we take a verse, we read it out. We'll do a little bit of a breakdown, maybe a little bit of life application. On Sundays, I've started this real recently, just in the last week or two. I do Bible study with my grandmother. And last Sunday I didn't really go live for very long, but I'm trying to take my messages and expand on them before we go live, just so it's more of an interactive live instead of just me giving the message. Sometimes there's dead air because I am driving, so my priority is safely driving down the road. Sometimes I miss comments. But today marks the first day of wood chip season. Wood chip season, normally in the wintertime, I've got a snowblower in the back of the little truck here. And yesterday it was 72 degrees, so I figured take the snowblower out of the truck, clean out the back, get my my wood chip shovel and my tarp, and as long as the rain kind of goes away this afternoon, I'm gonna get a pile of wood chips so I can start wood chipping my driveway. Because right now it's a muddy mess. Since this week, when in USA is 6:30 a.m. in Peru it's 5:30. I will change my alarm to be on time on the prayer meetings. So you're basically in Central Standard Time, the next time zone over. Like Morgan's from the same time zone as you are. It's pretty early morning though. He starts at 5:30 your time. Yeah. Just find it interesting. So good to contact you, brother. You too, Alfredo. Thank you. I just thought I was going to say, I just found it interesting that Pastor Lewis does his show from 6:30 till about 7. And then my show is, 7:15 to 8:15. So it's almost like a Christian prayer network, Bible verses and all that stuff. I know tonight Pastor Lewis is continuing that study through the book of Revelation. I think he mentioned Revelation chapter 5 and chapter 6. So I'll probably read that later on so that we can be a little bit more helpful in the comments. Man, I've been waiting all winter to get wood chips, though. Last summer when I was going live on Facebook, I was telling people I'm getting my practice in for shoveling during the winter. And then the guy that I work for at my second job gave me a snowblower. So I didn't actually have to shovel any snow this last winter, which was a blessing because I really didn't want to be shoveling snow this winter. It's been a lot of wet, heavy snow, so the snowblower didn't do as well as I thought it was going to be doing. Oh, some deer crossing the road. That's a new one. Oh, another one. Boy. Yep. That could have been bad. That was like 6, 7, 8 deer crossing the road, and that's a pretty busy spot on the road, right by a store. And then there's a deer crossing sign down the road. So, besides the Patreon page, as a way to support the ministry, I also put my Cash App in the live description. Just another way for people, if they want to give with a cheerful heart, they can do it that way as well. Oh, excuse me. So if nobody's familiar with my multiple jobs, in the morning I work at an automotive shop doing oil changes, changing tires, light mechanical stuff. My second job is working on outdoor power equipment, everything from snow blowers to ice augers to lawn mowers, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, zero-turn mowers. We were just working on a couple yesterday. We're kind of in that transition season for both jobs. Time of the year's coming up where people got to take their studded snow tires off at the main job. And at the second job, everybody's going from winter machines to kind of summer machines where mowing the lawn and weed whackers, chainsaws. I think we're going to be growing a lot of beans this summer. Some of the food pantries that we have gone to and gotten bags of beans, we're going to try and grow those. Anytime that we've gotten bell peppers, whether it's from food pantry or just bought them from the store, we saved all the seeds from those. We've got a pretty good amount of seed in the vault. I call it the vault, but it's just a big metal box. I may be buying, basically free. I'm buying a blue pasta. It's just bare root in the box at the local hardware store. I've already got 2 different types of hostas. I'd like to have that third one just to go with that number 3. You know, one of my Facebook pages is Three Sisters Farm and Garden, where I advocate for growing companion planting and all that good stuff. Right now the plan is to have corn, a climbing bean, and some kind of cover crop, whether it be a melon or an ornamental squash or Alfredo, if you're still around, check out some of the shorts I put out last summer. You'll kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to do for a market garden. Pothole. You are trying to understand. Is there something I can expand on, explain a little better? My ultimate goal is to turn the 2 acres that we live on into a faith-based, intentional tiny house community. Still trying to learn English. I do have a friend of mine. Well, he married a woman from Peru, and I think he's back in the States right now, but I think his time is split between the States and living in Peru. They've got a couple of kids. Alfredo, I think I have a way to possibly translate some of my devotionals and studies into Spanish. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, as that's the language that you speak in Peru. Because our whole commission is to go out into the whole world and preach the gospel. And if I don't speak Spanish or Peruvian, whatever it may be called. So if there's a way for me to translate some of my text into the language that you speak, could you check it for me to make sure it's correct? Because I'll probably just use Google Translate or something like that. I thought about that a while back, but I didn't really have anybody that spoke another language or didn't speak English as their first language. English. Okay. The only reason I ask is because to me it would mean I would be reaching more people if I published my devotionals and my studies in English as well as other common languages. I need somebody that does speak the language to kind of read it to make sure that it makes sense from the biblical standpoint. That way I'm not putting something out or publishing something that doesn't make sense. I don't know how better to explain it, but unfortunately I am near the end of my ride, Alfredo. I do have to go to work. Appreciate you coming along, having a conversation with me, checking out the show. I've got to use the bathroom again. I hope everybody has a blessed day today. Again, if you're interested, check out some of the other YouTube shorts that I've got out there. Some are just clips from previous shows. Some are from last summer. Boy, there's some cars in the parking lot this morning, I can tell you that. I will be on tomorrow morning, 7:15 to 8:15 for Pastor Alfredo. That's going to be 6:15 to 7:15. You guys will hear me tomorrow.